Well, Billy rapped all night about his suicide, how he'd kick it in the head when he was 25. Speed jive. Don't want to stay alive. You want to watch an episode of Is It?
What was that?
Well, you know who it is. I've just told you.
All the young dudes.
Yeah, Mott the Hoople.
Mott the Hoople.
But I believe written by David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you might be right.
And the singer, from what I remember, looks like Jeff Lynne, but I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. Just the dark recesses of my.
What does Jeff Lynne look like?
It's
Shaggy
sort of,
hair and shades is all I remember.
That's it. A white guy with an afro and dark shades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incidentally, ELO are doing their last ever show, aren't they?
I saw that
in London.
Yeah.
Big ELO fan. Well,
do you know what? ELO were one of those bands where when I was a teenager in the 80s, my brother used to listen to them and I used to think that was the least coolest thing on the planet.
Really?
Yeah, at the time. But then you listen to it later in life, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They were incredible.
Well, Jeff Lynne's done, I mean, he did all the Wilbury stuff, all the George Harrison stuff, loads of...
And the production on that stuff is...
Yeah.
I mean, for the time as well.
He has this,
insane.
There's a sound, what he uses, this sound where it's like an acoustic guitar, the top end of a pick on an acoustic guitar in time with an egg shaker that really drives all of his sort of productions along. And I've tried to replicate that badly many, many, many times. That sort of biscuit tin snare.
Yeah, they did have a very specific snare sound. I heard an interesting production thing this week, which I'd never realised, and I'm like, of course. And why didn't I spot it? What's his name? Who did Happy and Pharrell?
Yeah.
Hit after hit after hit with God knows how many artists. Every single song he produces starts with a count of 4.
4-bar counting.
But it's always like the sample of the beginning of the song. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, it does. Yeah. Every single song.
Yeah. Doon, do-doon, do-doon, do-doon.
Clever.
Yeah, very clever.
Really clever. Just never noticed. I mean, obviously noticed, but didn't put 2 and 2 together.
It was my mum that introduced me to ELO, and I used to think, what a strange name for a band to call them, a greeting in a Yorkshire accent.
Hello.
ELO.
You're round your way, it's EB, isn't it?
EB. Yeah. EYBEY.
Which is short for what?
Hello, boy.
Oh, is it? That what it is?
It's more of a sort of friendship group thing. Yeah, we're on the border of Midduck sort of territory. Yeah. Hey, Midduck.
It's not far away, but you talk very differently.
Yeah, I know. Well, you get a lot of these different sort of linguistic characteristics, accents, don't you? But yeah, all of my pals, hey, mate, hey. I've got a friend who's a farmer. He's like, hey, mate, he's a K's.
I'd be like, hey, what? That's so random.
Yeah, hey, B, he's the K's.
Saying that, round here, when I was a kid,
reindeer,
you'd always say, watcha.
Yeah.
No one says that anymore.
No.
That's gone.
Yeah, watcha. Yeah.
Which I think was short for, what you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit Del Boy as well, isn't it? But then we are sort of just fairly on the outside skirts of the M25, aren't we?
Yeah.
Watcha. What you doing?
Because now everyone just says, right?
You all right? Yeah. Yeah, well, once you grow up, you have to start saying hello. Word up. That was the...
Word up. What's up, motherfucker? I mean, you still talk like that, unfortunately. When we're together, people must overhear and go, what's wrong with them? When they're going to grow up?
What are these two old men doing talking like teenagers?
Talking like they're from the West Coast in some kind of rap band.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well. We'll grow out of it one day, Dan.
Yeah, hope so. Yeah. So what are we looking at today?
Well, today, Dan, it's an exciting one. Maybe.
You know what? I've just realised.
What's that?
Should have done Ride on Time.
You should have done Ride on Time. Because we are looking at the black box analog design HGQ, which... they're kind of famous for doing the HD... Is it the HD1 or the HD2? I can't remember what it's called now. But they make a hardware saturation unit, which became a plug-in, which has been very popular. People love the hardware. People love the plug-in. I was never massively that into it. I thought it was all right. And about, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, they said they were working on a hardware EQ with saturation. When everyone was kind of excited about the fact that they were working on this, and it's kind of not materialised. Apparently they're getting close to putting it out, and apparently this is a modelled version of that hardware which isn't out yet.
Right.
So whether that's true or not, or some very clever marketing,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
But that's
Or care.
That's where or care. It's interesting because recently Carnaby released I can't even remember what the thing is called, but they released an EQ which isn't really an EQ as such, in that it's a saturator where it works a bit like an EQ. You pick your frequencies and then you drive it, and it adds saturation rather than actually boosting EQ.
Of course it does.
But it's been incredibly well received. People are sort of saying it's like this is the most amazing
Is
thing
it
ever.
hardware, did you say?
It's a hardware thing, yeah. And this isn't the same, but I guess it's similar to it. So
It's got a sort of Knight Rider-y kind of look about it, hasn't it?
yeah, I mean their other thing was also a black box.
Was it?
with blue
Blue and
LED
red
situations
things. Yeah,
going on.
Good, nice design.
Nice design. A little bit much for the eyes sometimes when you're looking at it going, right, what have I got here then? But what you've basically got here is it's kind of a 6-band EQ, but 3 of the bands are boost and 3 of them are cut. So a little bit like a Pultec, you could set it all to the same frequencies, boost and cut them. But obviously that's not something you definitely want to do all the time. You can pick any frequency for the boost, any frequency for the cut, low, mid, high, same for left and right, or it'll run in mid-side, which, that's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
At the top, you can see there is a saturation control for each of those bands. Now, there's not one for cut and boost. There's just one for the whole band.
Yeah.
And if you click the little button that says sat and then drive it up, you can add saturation to that band. If you click the alt button, it's a different vibe of saturation.
Alternative,
exactly. Yes.
I'm catching on. I mean, I know it's been a few years now, but I'm really getting down with the lingo.
You're getting there, slowly but surely.
It's what my school reports we used to say.
There's a button here where you can put the EQ into a parallel mode. There's filters, so you've got high pass frequency there. You've got an attenuator in the middle, which basically it just turns it down, turns the input down. So if you want the signal to be less hot going in, so that you can do something with it to make it hot with the saturation, you can do that.
Okay.
It's quite a nice addition, actually.
Yeah.
The auto listen means that when you're adjusting a certain frequency, it sort of solos that, so you can hear what you're doing. Obviously, you've got a mid-side button. You've got 2 times buttons. All the pluses or the cuts or boosts will be double. If you've done a 2K,
Quite well thought out, isn't it? So you can either be quite subtle and discreet with it,
Yes.
or fairly full on and
Yeah.
bastardise the living fuck out of.
very well put. Yeah, it's got a very nice spectrum analysis situation down the bottom where it shows you the red line is your cut. The blue line is your boosts, and the white line in the middle is the resulting EQ curve.
There's another one we could have done. White lines.
That's a classic tune.
Yeah. Have we done? We might have done that already.
Yeah, maybe, I don't remember.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. And that's kind of it. That's what it does. Like a lot of the Brainworks stuff, you can shut down. Well, it's not Brainworks, is it? It's Black Box. But it works in a similar way in that we can shut those windows down.
Yeah.
That one at the bottom there, you can make disappear if you want. But yeah, so it's 3 bands of cut, 3 bands of boost for each side or for mid and side, plus each band having its own saturation circuit, and you've got 2 to choose.
I've got to. I don't get I don't get having the boost and attenuate for each band. Is that something you want to expand on?
Yeah, because it's effectively giving you 6 bands. Because let's say,
so could I boost? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go on.
Could I boost the middle band and then move the frequency for the attenuate and boost? So you've got 6 bands, but you can use the middle band on 2 different frequencies.
Yeah, that's what it does. It basically means, so normally with a regular EQ, you have one control which you turn to the right is boost, turn to the left is cut.
Okay.
This lets you do both at the same time, but also select that frequency.
Okay.
So, for example, at the bottom end, you could say, right, I want to cut at 30 hertz, but I want to boost at 50 hertz.
Okay.
I want to cut at 400 in the middle, but I want to boost at 900.
Okay.
Which that's incredibly flexible.
Yeah.
And then being able to add the saturation or not, especially in mid-side. I was messing around with it in a mastering sort of situation, and being able to sort of add some saturation to the mids, but leave the bottom alone or leave the top alone. It's quite. As soon as I said leave the bottom alone, I saw your brain click into gear.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's fine.
So just leaving the bottom.
Leaving the bottom alone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it does.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
And so you've mentioned Plug-in Alliance, so I'm guessing we're getting the standard 14 days.
Standard 14-day demo, yep.
Excellent stuff. And then it looks like it's going to be quite expensive.
Well, it's Plug-in Alliance. So the full price, should you ever be foolish enough to pay it, is $249.
Right.
Which, that's quite a lot of money for a plug-in.
Yeah.
However, if that was a piece of hardware, I have no idea what that would cost, but I am guessing it would be upwards of $5,000. So looking at it like that, it isn't terrible. Right now in the sale, because it's new, it's $89.99.
Okay. Well, like we were just discussing, there was a quote from an engineer that we can't remember who it was, who said there are 10,000 plug-in equalizers out there.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one pokes its head above the whatever.
I think it's slightly different in that there's not many that have saturation per band. There are some. And there are some that are cheaper than this. But Black Box Analog Design have a strong reputation for their saturation circuits, so this is sort of quite unique.
Wonderful stuff.
I've just noticed down the bottom there, they've started putting, because Native Instruments bought Brainworks.
No.
They've started putting that on the actual plugins.
By Native Instruments.
Yeah, wasn't aware of that.
There you go. So that brings us to the question.
Oh, yes.
Is it Shizer?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's pretty special as it goes. I get this isn't going to appeal to everybody. If you just want an EQ, this isn't your bog standard EQ for making things sound how you want them to sound in a mix. But I think for buses, I think for the master bus and for mastering, this can do some pretty magic things.
A handy tool to have in your box, so to speak.
Yeah, well, yeah. Luckily, it's not hardware. Otherwise, you wouldn't want that in your box.
No, yeah.
But I think it's very, very good. I think it will make sense to the people that understand whether they need it or not. If you're looking at it going, I'm not sure I need that, then you don't need it.
Okay. But wait for the sale, people, is
Absolutely.
what we are saying.
Yeah.
So please like the video.
That'd be nice if you could do that and maybe subscribe to the channel or become a channel member.
We have an Instagram, Studio Life 101, and a Patreon and various other bits and pieces with links down below. We also have...
What do we also have? Oh, we have the top 5.
Yes.
We have the top 5 plugins where if you go down there's links where you can go and check out the top 5. There's a link to our website where you can see what the top 5 is. We've also got links to my mixing course, and there's a course on compression. And coming very soon, there's the mastering course.
Very, very exciting. I am sure you will agree. So until next time, sayonara, suckers.
Adios.